Waffles, come. Hey, Stinker, I'm talking to you. Yeah, we got to show our friends. Our class has started. Yeah. Hello and welcome back to Follow the Dogie.
Play.
That's right, play Doga.
Share snacks.
Okay. Can you lay down for me, please? Waffles, go around and lay down. Honey, go around. Thank you. And lay down. Good girl. All right, so hello and welcome back to Follow the Dogie. I'm Daisy. This is our Dogie Waffles. Today we're going to be talking about props because over the last week you have gotten the opportunity to learn how to make one of these indestructible elephant block covers for on my OFTB channel. That tutorial has been up for a week now, so I trust that everyone has had a chance to review it, and whether you decide to make your own block case or not is 100% up to you. But I do believe that everyone has had a chance to review it at this point. So I wanted to talk today about what you can use instead of designated yoga props, because when you're first getting into the practice, yoga props are incredibly useful. They're useful throughout your practice, but at the beginning, they're incredibly useful to modify postures to really be able to make them most beneficial for your body before you build flexibility and strength to get into those full expressions. So, but yoga props can be expensive. Like, they can add up. And if you're first starting, you want to have access to all these things, but you don't necessarily want to make the investment, right? And here's the really cool thing about yoga. You don't have to. Okay. So we have like yoga blocks come in foam types like this. They also come in wooden versions like this. If you have some blocks of wood just for construction, for anything else, you can use that as a wooden yoga block. You can, if you're big into construction, you can screw them together. You can also use a book as a yoga block, right? You can slide that right underneath your hips for some postures where you want your hips elevated. You can also put it on its spine or hold it by the spine if you are in a posture that you need to bring the floor up to you a little bit more in order to really get into a deeper stretch. You can also stack two books on top of one another to create more height and stability. So there's all sorts of things you can do that's going to give you a really rigid structure. If you prefer more like a foam block, you can use a cushion, a pillow, a dog toy. So this is our original indestructible elephant. He clearly has nothing to do with yoga. He's just a tug toy. And just by rolling him up or folding him up, I now have a mass that I can set under my hips to elevate my hips. Super comfy, super, I want to say squishy, but it still gives you the support that you need, right? And then you can also do that same thing if you're, again, trying to bring the floor up to you just a little bit, okay? So as you can see, having books or a piece of wood, something sturdy, is going to be easier to use when you're trying to bring the floor up to your hands, because it won't collapse underneath such a small area that your weight's distributed across. Whereas when you're putting this on your hips or under your hips, your weight is evenly distributed across the whole thing. So it does work really, really well. So those are some of the substitutions we can. Ooh, that was kind of a not fun sound. Those are some of the substitutions that we can make for blocks. And I trust that you can and use your imagination and think about what you have in your life that would be able to be used in the same way. I give you examples that I would run across in my life, but I'm not the one living your life. So I don't see what you see every day. I don't see what you engage with just in your everyday life. So try and think about the examples I showed you and how you can use some of the objects that you already have around your house as a yoga block. Now I want to move on to another prop that we use quite often in yoga, and that is a yoga strap. Okay, so there are a lot of different types, right? There's some like this that have multiple loops. This is the only one I have that has loops all the way down. And that is useful for being able to just have a little bit more control over your stretch, right? But it's not 100% necessary for that to be a strap. Let me show you one of the postures that I would use a yoga strap to get the most out of, and then I'll show you another solution that we can use. So put those out of the way. Good girl, Waffles. Yes, you are. Good girl. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Did you eat whole zucchini? Yeah, good girl. Okay, so if you have a yoga strap or a leash on hand or a lead rope, anything that you have on hand that is essentially a long strand of rope or nylon or flat, anything. It doesn't have to be flat, but flat does give you the best grip for the purpose of using it for a yoga strap. So that's why I like these flat leashes, but I will demonstrate with a round leash as well. So go ahead and come to all fours, hands underneath your shoulders as much as you can, and knees underneath your hips. Here, I like to do a little weight shifting because it helps me to recognize where my knees are landing in relation to my hips and where my hands are landing in relation to my shoulders. Okay, and then you're going to bring one foot in between your feet, step it across, and then just bring it down. Now, if you want a really deep stretch in your hips, you can try and keep your leg parallel, but I think that you should just go ahead and let your body guide you as you sink your hips down into the ground. Now, if your hips don't come all the way down to the ground, take one of the block substitutes that we talked about a minute ago and place it under your hips. I'm going to use this book because I placed the tug toy too far behind me to reach. All right. And then you'll draw your hands back a little bit because that's going to help you open up your chest. You'll feel compression in your back muscles, and that's what we're going for. You want to tighten your back muscles to really deepen that back bend. And also keep in mind that your back is a really important part of your body. So yes, we want to strengthen it, but if you're feeling pain in your back, go ahead and move your hands forward. That's okay. And then when you're ready, let's put a yoga strap on our foot. Okay. The back foot, the one that's stretching out like this, right? Okay. And when you're ready, you're going to bend that foot and grab the strap, and you can pull on the strap gently to adjust the stretch that you feel in the front of your leg, in the front of your hip, in front of your abdomen, and also the amount of compression that you feel in your back before you've built up the strength to just do that with only the strength in your muscles. So if you have a yoga strap that doesn't have these holes all the way across, then what you do is you just put it across your foot and grab them laced together like this. Okay, so can you see where I'm going with this? You can do this same thing with either of these tools. So when you have an animal, you often have a leash, right? If you have a dog, you definitely have a leash. If you have a horse, you definitely have a lead rope. If you have a cat, you might have a leash. If you have a rabbit, you might have a leash. But if you do have a leash, and if you do have a leash, you can do the same thing with your leash. So we're going to go ahead and move to the other side here. Hands under your shoulders. Good girl, Waffles. And knees under your hips. I'm going to be using you in just a minute, honey. Step your left foot forward this time. Walk it across. And then go ahead and let your legs sink down. Let your body do whatever it wants to do as you naturally sink as close to the floor as is comfortable. Then go ahead and slide a block or block substitute under your hip so that your weight is supported. Take your leash and you want to wrap your back foot so that you can grab it and pull upward like this. All right, and you can do the same thing with a round leash. I will demonstrate for you. Remember, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. All right, so you can do the same thing with either leash. What's also cool about leashes is not all yoga straps do have the slots. Every leash has a handle. Well, except for the ones that have clips on both ends, but story for another time. All right. So with the handle, you can slide that handle right on your foot and use that as your leverage. All right. And this is where that's actually what I would do with a rope leash or a lead rope, because you have more, with a rope leash. If I'm remembering correctly, lead ropes do not have handles. But with a rope leash, they often have a padded handle. So I would use the handle rather than the rope itself as your strap, because the part that connects your foot, because you're going to have some grip that holds onto your foot with this handle. And with the rope, it's more likely to slide or roll off. That's so kind of you to say, Poker Housewife. Thank you. So that is how we use straps, and those are some of the things that you can use as a substitution. Those are the things that I use around my house as a substitution, but quite frankly, there are endless possibilities. You could roll up a towel and use that, or rip a strip off of the towel, fold it up. There's so many things that you could do. Hi, buddy.
Love you.
Good boy. Good boy. All right, buddy. Can you please move? Good boy. No, stay. Actually, go ahead. You can go too. That's fine. All right. Now, why do I have a pillow? Because the last thing that I want to talk to you about, the last prop I want to talk to you about is a bolster. So what is a bolster used for? A bolster is kind of like a mix between how you're going to use a block and how you're going to use a blanket. You can use a blanket to pad the ground. You can use it, but you can also use it to add more height to the ground. So for example, if you are laying in Sphinx pose with your shoulders above your elbows, all right, you press down, press your palms into the ground. Atlas, no. No. Good boy. You press your palms into the ground and press your legs into the ground, and you create Atlas, get. Good boy. You create this back bend as you push your shoulders down your back. Now, this can be, good dogs, Waffles, leave it. This can add some strain to your back if you're not really used to compressing your back that much. So you can add a bolster in front of you to support your weight as you start to build that muscle memory and that strength in your back. You just want to make sure your elbows are still underneath your shoulders. Now, however, bolsters are expensive, okay? This guy was like $50, I think. So if you're just starting yoga and you're finding out if this is going to be the form of exercise that really works for you, come. Hey, come. Yeah, good boy. No, you guys, we're not, okay. Waffles, hey, if you want to play, come in the playroom, please. Come. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, do I need to grab you? Mama say, come. Good girl. Atlas, leave it. Atlas, leave it. Good boy. Come on. Good. You come over here. You come over here. Good boy. Good girl. Good dogs. Yeah, if you want to play, you can do it in here, honey, where it's nice and safe and there aren't random shits and furniture all over the place. Good boy. I guess you didn't want to play over here. All right. Well, so how do we turn this into a bolster? We ask our dog to move out of our way. And then we're just going to roll it up. Okay. You going to help me roll it up, Atlas? Yeah. You think so? This is my, my family's dog who I offered to train. So that's why he's here. Okay. And now that it's rolled up, it's going to serve the same function as this. It's nice and sturdy, but so it's firm, but it's also very soft, and it is going to give enough, support to be able to support us and keep our torso level, relaxed while we're sitting in Sphinx position. So anytime that you're in a yoga class, thank you so much for all those likes, guys. Right, puppies are a lot of fun. Thank you for that insight, Poker Housewife. That's so true. So anytime that your yoga teacher asks you to grab a specific prop, know that you have options, especially if you're watching a class from home. Know that you have options. If a yoga teacher says that you should have a bolster on hand, understand that you can have a rolled up blanket or pillow on hand. If your teacher asks you to have a strap on hand, understand that you can also have a leash on hand. If your teacher asks you to have a block on hand, understand that you can also have a book, a stack of books, a toy, or on hand, or you can choose to make something a little more durable to make your block last a little longer if you are choosing to make that investment. Thank you so much for joining us today. Are there any last questions before we sign off? Good boy. You playing? Waffles, do you want to play? Do you want to come play Atlas? Come. Yeah? Good girl. You did so good, Atlas. Are you going to play? Yeah? Waffles, play? Nope. Get out of her cooch. Good boy. Yes, good boy. You going to play? You going to play jump? Jump. Oh, we're going to play. Oh, man. Back in the studio. Come on. Back in the studio. Go. Yes, good dogs. Go. Yes, good dogs. Oh, Hey, good. But Atlas, we got to be in this. Hey, Atlas, in the studio. In the studio. Good boy. In the studio, buddy. Good boy. Good girl. No, Atlas, we're not going to bite feet. Hey, good boy. Smell only. Don't get crazy. You're going to jump on him. You're going to get him. We're going to do more get-ins. That was good, Atlas. That was good asking to play. We play with our paws, not our teeth. Waffle's going to do more play. Yeah. Yeah, your buddy. Good job, Atlas. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, you guys, I do want to give Atlas props for this right now because he really likes to bite Waffle's legs, but we've been using this toy as a replacement for biting her legs. Good boy. Don't do it. Don't do it. We bite this, right? Good boy. Good boy. Good girl. Good job, guys. Good job. Yes, good job. Good boy. That's right. That's right, buddy. See, another impulse that he resisted by grabbing his toy. There we go. Come on. Hey. Yes. Waffles, come. You want to play? Come. No, Atlas, no. She did not opt in. Nope. Sorry, buddy. I know, but you have to learn cues. Stop. Good boy. Here, you can play this. Good boy. Good play that. All right, I don't see any final questions, so we are going to go ahead and sign off so that I can give these two the attention that they need and the focus that they deserve. Good boy. Good girl. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see you next week. We have a special grooming edition of our animal assisted yoga class next week. So make sure you tune in to join us for Saucha with Waffles in the bath. Oh, thank you. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you guys next time. Good boy.